We are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Blake Ruffino. What are you doing, Zach? Zach was up on the screen. He misses Monday. He can't show his pretty face, his Tim Tebow looking haircut on here Monday. So he's got to put himself on the screen to start off the show with the first pick in the AYS draft. It's not you, Zach. Anyway, we got our producer, Zach, back. Love having our producer back. Helps your brother out. Absolutely helps your brother out. So looking forward to having Zach back with us tonight. What a blessing it is. But we do have a lot in store for you tonight. A lot in store for you tonight. LSU practice update. LSU adds a DB, Sevyn Banks. We have talked to Sevyn Banks. Looking forward to bringing him on the show here in the next couple of weeks. So look out for that. LSU new DB. Sevyn Banks going to be joining AYS soon. So excited that LSU's adding another boundary corner. It's something that we've talked about for a long time. Yes, it was Sevyn Banks that we were talking about when LSU was planning on adding another DB that could play boundary corner. We'll let you know about Sevyn. We'll let you know about practice. For whatever reason, I've been getting these DMs today about, is Garrett Nussmeier taking over as QB1? I'll tell you why that's not true, that nobody's taking over as QB1, and why I would be a little bit nervous if Garrett Nussmeier is QB1. When you play Florida State and New Orleans, I would rather see Jaden Daniels and Miles Brennan take the position. And if Garrett Nussmeier is the guy, what does it tell you about your team and your quarterback room? That's for sure. So we'll definitely get into Sevyn Banks in practice. LSU wins the Classic last night. I mean, will the real ULL fans please stand up? I mean, bro, y'all were talking to me and Zach Pearson, former LSU pitcher Zach Pearson, for months about how you were going to come to Baton Rouge and kick the absolute Rudy poo out of us. Dog, you just got patty smacked by a team that can't field a ground ball to save their life. How does that make you feel? How does it make you feel to know that there was multiple errors in the game and you still lost? You're our little brother. Breaking. You're still our little brother. God, you got to love it. You got to absolutely love the ULL fans who still think that they're part of what this where are you? We're the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. No, dog, you ULL. You always have been. You always will be. So we'll talk about the Classic. I will tee off on a Ruffino's rants. We missed last night, so hashtag Ask Blake. I will give a recruiting update. 2 positions that LSU's actually debating and going after in the transfer portal. A lot of guys will be on campus this week for the spring game, and we'll talk a little bit of spring game, some things that I want to see. So a lot of baseball, a lot of football talk here tonight covering LSU. And the Pellies, the Zionless Pellies, take game 2. And now Devin Booker's out. What does that look like for the Pels? Looks very good. Looks very, very good. All right, we got a lot of things to do too. We got to get to a couple of these comments, right? Like, that's probably our main objective here, is that we got to get to a couple of these comments. All right, let's see here. Lamar Williams says, are you sure about this? Am I sure about Garrett Nussmeier? Yes, I am very sure that Garrett Nussmeier is not leading the pack. We'll talk about that right out the break, because literally, and I don't know if Zach can see my DMs on Twitter. We need to give him that access. Maybe he can DM all the trolls. If I get another DM, by the way, I'm on a mini vacation this week, what you'd call a staycation. Me and my family are at a resort this week. So I'm still doing the show from the studio. They're back at the resort. And literally at like 10:30, I checked my phone, and it's like 14 DMs about Garrett Nussmeier. Blake. Like we're in Twitter Spaces. It's like good googly moogly. So I'll settle this debate here tonight. Okay. Let's pay some bills. Aunt Marshall says, yes, sir. Flock up, baby. I think that they're doing the HBCU hour tonight. So if you're intrigued, go check out the Golden Boot podcast. They'll be doing the HBCU hour, I believe. And Aunt, correct us in the comments if I'm wrong. Rob Boudreaux says, Blake, please don't get the UL people excited. I have to live with them over here. Sorry, Rob. I'm sorry. But ULL fans are nothing more than our little brother. Speaking of the Gold Boot Pod, they said the media can't get inside information, so they start making up narratives. Sips tea. The Gold Boot Podcast is right. Tomorrow. So the HBCU hour is tomorrow. And Annie says that I miss Ben. I do too. Y'all know that y'all remember that the TikTok where it says, I want my daddy. That's how y'all feel about me, right? Like, I want your daddy. And then the picture pops up of Blake Ruffino doing this. Zach, take a screenshot. You're damn right. All right. Let's get this thing started, y'all. Let's pay some bills around this thing, and then we'll get rolling. Let me talk about, though, very quickly about our good friends over at Believe. Look, I've been going over to Believe for such a long time. Bet Online. I've been going over to Bet Online for such a long time now, guys. They're our partners. We'll be doing a draft show. So the NFL draft is coming up in 8 days. We will be doing a live stream draft show presented by Believe and Bet Online. They're still your number one source for all of your betting needs. Bet Online is continued source for all the sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. Get on over there today and use the promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV. That's BLEAV to use your 50% welcome bonus. That's betonline.ag. Betonline.ag. All right, let's pay some more bills. Let's talk about our good friends over at GM Varno & Sons, and then we'll get rolling. Yes, it is 420. We will talk about Gramco. Pop out them gummies. Pop out them gummies. Pop a gummy, and let's watch a show. Go over to Gramco. All right, let's talk about GM, and then we'll get started. None better than our good friends over there. With over 65 years of experience, nobody is better equipped to service in your vehicle than GM Varno & Sons. RV repair, big rig overhauls, motorhome chassis, routine maintenance, tire rotations, tire sales. No job is too big or too small over at GM. If you break down the side of the road in the greater Baton Rouge area, they will come and get you. And the best thing about that is that they can come and get you, and then they can bring your vehicle back to their shop and start the repairs right then. Again, GM Varno & Sons. Go see them over at 2500 Fuller Boulevard. Give them a call at 225-664-9992. 225-664-9992. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino sent you on by. All right. So let's get this thing started, y'all. Everybody do us a favor by hitting the like and share. There's so many of you on Facebook. Do us a favor. Hit that like button. Hit the share. Share to some Facebook groups. Share to your Facebook pages. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Share. Don't be a square. Hit the like and hit the share. Don't be a I can't say it. L7 weenie. All right, do us a favor by hitting the like and share. We greatly appreciate it. All right. So I gotta address this because yeah, we can talk about baseball. I'm gonna get to that in the Ruffino's rants later on about I just don't understand how LSU continues to commit so many errors. Like it's starting to get extremely frustrating, right? Like it's like every time I pop my head up when we're watching the game, here comes another error. It's like Oprah in this hoe. And you get an error. You get an error. You get an error. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But I got to address this. Today, I'm sitting poolside, okay? Putting on my suntan lotion. I get the very good image. Putting on the suntan lotion on this Great 291-pound man body of steel, the Greek god body of steel. When all of a sudden my phone keeps going off. It's like, damn, Big Daddy got a phone call, but I didn't. I've been warning you for this for some time now. I've been warning you, be careful of what you listen to. There is no quarterback for LSU in this spring football update. Zero that has the lead. None. Not Jane Daniels, not Miles Brennan, not Garrett Nussmeier, not Walker Howard. None of them right now have the lead. I know that it is probably the biggest conversation piece that we will have all summer long. It legitimately is. I understand that. You do have some very, very great talented quarterbacks in that room. But let me say this, and you're not going to like this. I think Garrett Nussmeier can be a really good quarterback. I think eventually he will be a very good quarterback. But is he ready right now? I don't know if I necessarily understand the push for Garrett. Newsflash, you can't be QB1 when you're not taking majority of first-team reps. You can't be QB1 if you're not taking any first-team reps. If you're taking 2, that does not make you the first-string quarterback. Garrett's looked good this offseason. He's refined some things. He's done some good things. He's put pause. He's placed some footballs in areas in very tight windows. Sure. He's always had that ability, y'all. But what does it tell you? There's so many things that it would tell me that if Garrett Nussmeier were to start, it would honestly make me extremely nervous. That means, number one, he beat out Jane Daniels. So then why did you go and get a transfer quarterback? Number two, if he is the starter, Miles Brennan is not staying. There's no way. Because you're not going to throw out Garrett Nussmeier and then leave Jane Daniels on the bench. If there's another quarterback that you're going to bring in, it's going to be Jane Daniels. Just because of his running ability. But in my opinion, at the current moment, I don't know if Garrett Nussmeier is ready. The last time that we saw him was versus Arkansas, and majority of you inside of spaces or these comments told me that if Max Johnson would have played, we would have won the game. I get that there's a better coaching staff. I know that he can go through an all season and get much better. I'm not saying he can't start, but we have to pump the brakes. I would be very nervous if we kicked off the football against Florida State and he's your guy. I want the best quarterback to win. Don't get it twisted. But you have two very experienced quarterbacks, but from a year and tenure, you do have experienced quarterbacks in that room. Jane Daniels and Miles Brennan. What does it say about those guys if Garrett Nussmeier beats them out? What does it say for Garrett? But the guy that I saw last and the guy that we've seen from practice, I don't know if he's ready for that. He's got all the ability in the world. He is going to be a really damn good quarterback. He is. No taking it away from him. But I just don't know where this narrative is being pushed from. First, it's Miles. Then it's Jane Daniels can't throw the football. Then it's look at the long pass that Miles Brennan can throw. And yet nobody on God's green planet is talking about the Jane Daniels 65-yard touchdown from Kyron Lacey. When I say that, that's not me pushing Jaden. No, that's saying, hey, Miles has done some good things. So is Jaden. When they're running team drills, Jaden goes one, then right behind him is Miles Brennan. It's how it's been. Cool. Now, a lot of people will take a lot of things from the spring game. Guys, I got to be honest, I don't take too much from it. When Joe Burrow wins the Heisman, the same year in his spring game when he goes like 12 of 22 for 2 touchdowns and an interception, you're damn right I'm not going to take too much from it. You know what happened that season? Joe Burrow never went below 65% completion percentage in a game in 2019. So many things could be misunderstood in a spring game. Kayshon Boutte won't be out there. We'll also talk about Kayshon Boutte because it's the number 2 question I've been getting over the last 24, 48 hours. But there's so many different things that LSU has to accomplish here. Now, here's another scenario. You might not even have your starting offensive line completely intact. Will Campbell's doing some good things. I will eat some crow. I thought he would be the All-American that we think he can be. I didn't know if he would come in and start right away. I was wrong on that. Completely wrong on that. You still have Marlon Martinez, Anthony Bradford, and others that are Garrett Dellinger that are sitting out this spring. You're not going to get a good look at your offensive line. Does LSU and Brian Kelly limit John Emery from running the football? Noah Cain's not here. Jared Bernard-Converse isn't playing the spring game. Neither is Sevyn Banks. You got Jordan Tolles at corner. Do not take it as gospel about what you're going to see from a spring game. I see Zach's already chiming in. I think it's Zach. Maybe it's his brother. But I do agree with Zach here on this comment. He talks about competition breeds champions. If I'm all for a QB battle, doesn't necessarily mean you don't have to have a good QB. I'm for it too, Zach. I'm for a quarterback competition. It breeds success. It does breed champions. Iron does sharpen iron. But to say that there's a head and shoulders QB that's out there right now of all 4 of them is just not true. Majority of you subscribe to tigerbait.com, which Scarborough is going to have his show later on tonight. You can ask him the question. My good buddy Mike Scarborough. You speak of the devil. There he is. Speak of the devil. Okay? But nevertheless, what are you seeing that nobody else is? Now, I've been on this little mini vacation. I don't know what's going on, but guys, come on. I will tell you this. For all of the people thinking that Jane Daniels is not going to play this season, you better put your big boy panties on, because if you think that that's not going to happen, sorry to tell you. You don't bring in a transfer quarterback like that for him not to play. Jane Daniels is not going to be sitting the bench. He might not start, but they're going to get him some action, and they're going to get him in there quick. You're going to see a quarterback more than likely in this spring game that's going to be able to move, and he's going to do some things that you weren't ready for. So is Miles Brennan. The biggest thing for Miles, and I get labeled the hater, completely fine. In an all serious note, when I'm being dead ass serious, Miles has a good arm. At times he can be really accurate. He's got to work at getting the ball out quicker, finding his targets faster, finding the open guys in space and getting them the football. You cannot deny the physical traits that Miles Brennan possesses. Neither can you, Jane Daniels. Continue to believe what you want to believe, but you're going to get you're going to get let down. I'm looking for this guy's comment. Bow flex. All right, for this intents and purposes, we'll call this guy Bow Flex on YouTube. He says, if a QB doesn't pull out in front soon, I'm afraid it means we don't have a great QB. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Carrie Smith, I don't know if this is my sister or not, but I think it might be. Because I do have a sister named Carrie Smith. But I don't know if she would call Brian Kelly BK. So, Carrie, are you my sister or no? But she says BK loves playing 2 QBs. Last year, he played 3 QBs at Notre Dame. That's true. That's very true. There's no clear-cut number 1 right now. There's just not. Gerard Guillory says, I take 2016 Jamarcus type of season every season. Shit, yeah. You damn. I mean, yeah. Hey, I got to say this. With a little bit more polish, stay with me. You're going to freak out. Stay with me. With a little bit more polish, actually a lot more polish around the rough edges, I would take a Max Johnson type of season. Stay with me. I would take a quarterback that scores 30 touchdowns or throws for 30 touchdowns and only throws for 5 or 6 interceptions. Raise your hands. Give me a thumbs up. Would you take your starting quarterback throwing for 30 touchdowns next season? I would. You're not guaranteed that. Now, I don't know how people are going to react to that, but you're damn Skippy. I would take a quarterback that would throw 30 touchdowns and 5 picks. There's some things that you got to clean up around there now. And I'm not saying you don't. I'm not saying that Max played superior. But let's not act like for one damn second that this guy did not accumulate 30 touchdowns last season with a very bad offensive coordinator. I mean, if you want to go what Max Johnson would look like in a 13-game series, he's closer to 40 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Or 8 interceptions, I should say. Or was it 7? Because he only threw 1. Give me the 35 touchdowns, 35 touchdowns. You can't argue with that. I do have I'm going to need to see, bottom line, I'm going to have to see more for Garrett Nussmeier before I anoint him QB1. I'm going to have to see more from Miles. I'm going to have to see more from Jaden. But your starting center's not here yet. Here's another thing. LSU starting tight end's not on campus right now. Now, LSU's got 10 days. They got until May 1st to the deadline to go get a transfer that could play this season. I think they could still go past that date, though, if it's a graduate transfer. And really and truthfully, you don't need a tight end that's going to be here 4 years. You need a tight end that's going to be here for maybe a season or 2 at max, because Mac Markway is coming down. Mr. Biceps himself is coming down to LSU. You also have Mason Taylor. So I don't think that you absolutely need a guy that's going to be here multiple years. I got to say this, and I understand this too. We're going to get to baseball here in a minute. I understand this too. And then we can get to some comments too. Zach, let's fire in some of these comments too after this thought. How do I want to say this? Because this is going to be controversial for people. And I don't know if people are really ready for this, but this is all I hear too. Now, I agree that LSU is going after a tight end. They need one. LSU needs to address the tight end position. I can't disagree with that. But, man, why aren't they addressing it, all I hear is that they're full force. You're not. No, not really. Not really. Because when LSU needed a boundary corner, another boundary corner, cue up Sevyn Banks. You go to Ohio State, you get a guy from the transfer portal, the recruiting department, Sherman Wilson and others, Robert Steeples and others did a very good job at recruiting Sevyn Banks. You address that need pretty quickly, right? Like that need was pretty apparent once you got 2 weeks into spring practice, and then here comes Sevyn Banks. You mean to tell me that there's absolutely no tight end in the portal? I know the kid from Texas A&M is. I understand he's been hurt. I understand that. But you just took a corner that just had a labrum tear in his hip. Don't tell me that you're not doing everything you can for the kid that was at Texas A&M. Food for thought. I get, and I know that some people say, well, there's no good tight ends out there. There's been multiple. If it's really that big of an issue. Now, Nick Storrs came back and did some dominating things in the running game. But I'm not Nick Storrs is not doing it for me. Now, I get the A&M guys off the market and stuff like that. Like, I get that he's not there anymore, but he was there. The guy from tight end, the guy from Cincinnati. Like, there's been multiple tight ends that you go after. I know that a lot of people talk about offensive line being an issue. Guys, I got to be honest. I think that you're okay right now. Unless there's a center that goes into the portal, unless there's a true center that goes into the portal. I don't know if LSU really necessarily needs maybe tackle. But you have a lot of good pieces there that you can build around. Miles Frazier, Will Campbell, Tremont Shorts, Garrett Dellinger, Cam Wire, if he can stay healthy, God bless his soul. But yeah, Chance says that the Cubs kid signed with Texas Tech. What I mean by that is that when the A&M, that I should have rephrased that, when Cup went into the portal, don't tell me that you were doing absolutely everything you could when you don't go get at least bring that kid in for a visit. That's not going all out for a tight end. It's just not. Now, do you wait until after the spring game? Sure. But this narrative I keep hearing that they're doing everything that they can for a tight end in the portal, I just don't agree with it. Fire in some of these questions, Zach, and then we'll get to a quick break. Ryan Thibodeau says, should Sevyn Banks wear number 7? I don't know about that. All right, come on, let's have him here, Zachy. Chris English says, BK hates playing more than one QB. He only plays more than one out of necessity. I agree with that. No coach wants to play more than one. No coach. All right, let's fire in a couple more here, Zach. Nurse Court says, I don't want a 2-quarterback system. I mean, it may not be a popular opinion. No, I don't think that anybody wants to play a 2-quarterback system. It's not necessarily effective all the times. I mean, the most effective it's ever been was at Florida with Tebow and Chris Leak, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to have to go and do that. But if you, it feels to me that you're going to. It fully feels that way for me. Now, I will tell you, you're not going to like this. Some of you will, some of you won't. Somebody in the comments, the Moore kid from Michigan, the quarterback. What's his first name? I can't remember the kid's first name to save my life. Kid can move, man. The kid can move. He's going to be down here for the spring game. Does that not tell you what type of quarterback that LSU wants to go after? I'm not calling the kid a dual threat. He's only a dual threat. Dante Moore. Thank you, Chris. But Dante Moore, what do you believe that LSU wants to do? There's only a couple of skill sets on this roster that LSU can go with that. Jeff Futch says Parallel and Flynn were pretty effective. Yeah. I mean, but that really wasn't yeah, all right. The Golden Boot Pod says a 2 QB system is like polygamy. When you're not in control, things can get out of hand really quickly. Well, good googly moogly. I didn't know that I didn't know it was like that, but man, it can. I mean, you're not wrong. Pooh Bear's not wrong there. He's not wrong. Okay. We didn't even talk about defense, Zach. By the way, we're going to need to start putting more respect on Greg Brooks' name. I'm going to continue to say it. I'm going to continue to scream it from the rafters. The kid has had an exceptional offseason so far. Exceptional. By the way, Garrett's got to clean up those interceptions, man. He's got to clean up those turnovers. Okay. Zach, it is 4:20. Do you know what that means? It's time to pop out the gummies. Pop out the fruit punch watermelon gummies. Take you one. Got to give a good shout out to our good friends over at Gramco, man. They've been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It is a big celebration on 420 for them and for us. So just want to give a shout out to them. Go over there, use the promo code AYS25. And I got to talk about our good friends over at Manscaped too. We're growing, y'all. We're growing. Manscaped I love my guys over at Manscaped too. They're killing the game, bro. All right, let's pay some bills around this thing. Let's talk about our good friends over at the Gramco and our good friends over at Manscaped. We'll be right back. Rafino's Rants, more football talk. LSU baseball struggling with theirs. Let's continue to talk about, guys, right after this break. Guys, I've got to talk to you about our good friends over at Gramco. They are the Delta 8 company based out of the state of Florida. They're founded by college football junkies just like you and I am not sure if you're familiar with Delta 8, but you need to be. Gramco is the absolute leader in this field, and they have phenomenal products that I just need to tell you about. First off is the Wake and Bake coffee that is absolutely spectacular. The gummies are as well, as they're the best in the market. So go to... Guys, I've got to talk to you about our good friends over at Gramco. They are the Delta 8 company based out of the state of Florida. They're founded by college football junkies just like you and I am not sure if you're familiar with Delta 8, but you need to be. Gramco is the absolute leader in this field, and they have phenomenal products that I just need to tell you about. First off is the Wake and Bake coffee that is absolutely spectacular. The gummies are as well, as they're the best in the market. So go to thegramco.com right now and use the promo code AYS25. That's thegramco.com, AYS25 promo code to get 25% off of your order. Jump on this fast, as it is perfect for holidays, anniversaries, and everyday use. Gramco is hemp-derived and completely legal inside of the state of Louisiana. No medical card is needed, and shipping is very discreet. You must be 21 years older to order. Again, that's thegramco.com. Use that promo code AYS25. With the first pick in the NFL draft, Ball Saxonville has decided to pick Manscaped to stock up their Manscaped. The leaders in below-the-waist grooming have sponsored us and AYS to make sure that you do not get booed out of the bedroom, just like NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. Support us by heading over to manscaped.com. That's manscaped.com, and use the exclusive code AYS at checkout for 20% off and free shipping. Again, that's manscaped.com. Use that promo code AYS at checkout for 20% off plus that free shipping. I know. Zach is on the gummies. Zach isn't gone a day, like a whole day, and he's already messing up. Boo this man. Boo. Boo. It's all good. And yes. The ball Saxonville. Got to talk about our good friends over at Manscaped, y'all. We're growing around this piece. Guys, go over there. Gramco, Manscaped. Use that promo code AYS25 for Gramco, AYS for Manscaped. Guys, phenomenal products. We don't bring anybody on without trying it. Phenomenal products, man. Wayne McBride says Zach wants the camera time. I guess so. This is what I was told by Zach. He wants him a bad honey. I mean, he wants a. This is exactly what Zach told me before the show. He said that I want a dime that's top of the line, slim waist, cute face with a big old behind. You little sucker. Your mama and daddy are ashamed. Slim waist, cute face with a big behind. I want a dime that's top of the line. Cute face, slim waist with a big behind. He ain't. Zach, tell me I'm lying. Nope, you can't. All right. Rufino's rants time. I don't know where all this is going to go. Somehow, some way, I'm sure I'm going to circle this back to football. I'm sure that I'm going to circle this back to football somehow, some way. I got to be honest. I am absolutely tired of the errors in the field for LSU baseball. But Blake Hayden Travanski is the reason that we are bad in the field. Do you understand how stupid you sound? Every single game. Last night, watching the game, drinking a couple of cold sodas, out by the porch, got the TV on, watching the game. Here comes another error, y'all, or a bad play, I should say. Here comes my phone. Sounding like a damn vibrator. Blake. It's Hayden Travanski's fault. Stop listening to the bald-headed scallywags. Jay's got to get this fixed, y'all. I'm sorry. I think that Jay's doing everything that he can. Not saying that. But it seems as if guys like Kay Doty, Jordan Thompson, Jacob Berry, for whatever reason, they are playing with such little confidence out in the field. I honestly believe, even though that they're doing very good at the plate, I still feel like their confidence is a little shot at the plate. I really do. You got to be able to field the ball. It is a simple game. A very simple game. As my good coach and good friend Brett Beard would say, that's a thrown baseball. Catch, plant, throw. Catch, plant, throw. If I had a goddamn baseball right now, field it, go to the belt, come up, set your feet, fire that hoe. It is, quite honestly, it's that simple. I don't know what this team, this whole offseason, the only thing that we were continuously heard about with this baseball team, the bullpen. Blake, the bullpen's going to be ass. They saved you. Guys, I really don't know. I mean, we're talking about high school, ninth grade fundamental shit. Like, we really are. Guys, I can't. You gotta find a field it to the belt, plant your feet, set, fire. From someone who has been around a head coach for 32 years of my life that has coached elite baseball. It is not that difficult. Now, we come on this show and we talk a lot of football. It's my passion. It's my love. LSU is my passion. It's my love. But my God, the reason I don't talk more baseball is because I get a little too emotional. Blake gets a little too emotional. It's not that difficult, man. It really isn't. You have to be elite in the middle of the field, catcher included. The reason you don't take out Hayden Travinski, even though McManus had multiple bad pass balls on him last night, horrible throws, is if you're not going to be able to field, you got to out-hit people. You're not going to win many more games. You're not going to win many more games. It's a simple game, bro. It's not that difficult. Jay, with all due respect, a lot of people aren't calling out Jay Johnson. There's no more excuses. You've had more than 2 months to fix this. There's no more excuses on simple grounders and simple bleeders. I've been around it my whole life. You got to fix something, brother. Go up by 6, take their ass out. Do something. Do something. All right. Firing this question from Javon Turner, Zach. He asked, when is the Miles Brennan segment, bro? I see, Zach, have I said anything negative about Miles Brennan tonight? No. No, I haven't. Now you can fire in your questions, hashtag Ask Blake. Guys, I don't get this, but one pass. Yeah, fire in the questions. We'll do the hashtag Ask Blake. One pass does not excite me, nor does fielding a simple ground ball throwing it to first base. When you have a corner beat and you have a guy wide open, 20, 30, 40, 50 yards, guys, quite honestly, at this level, guys, this is LSU. Oh, look at that long pass. That shit don't excite me. Guys, you just had a Heisman Trophy winner throw for or accumulate 65 touchdowns. Who do you think that we are? Oh, look at that oh, look at that pass. If this were Vanderbilt, if this were Vanderbilt and they were throwing a pass further than 30 yards, okay, you know what? We hadn't won an SEC game since the Obama administration. All right, fine. Okay, somebody threw a pass longer than 50 yards. Fine. One pass by Miles Brennan is not going to excite me. But the only thing, though, is when somebody doesn't talk about what Jane did or what Walker did or what Garrett did, you can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye because there's no other reasons, what narrative that you're trying to push. We know what you're doing, bro. We know the narrative that you're pushing. Somebody tell me why the Jane Daniels thing isn't being pushed. Because they don't want him to play. You want me to say it? There it is. Kyron Lacey put a man in a blender from a pass that Jane Daniels completed. The F word you talking about. Get out of here with that. Fire in the questions. But yes, you can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. Jesus H. Christ. Oh. All right, let's get to the rest of these comments here, Zachy. Jesus H. Zach said he saw that. But yeah. Teresa says exactly. He is a beast, but these bad throws to Morgan is past ridiculous. It's all past ridiculous, man. I mean, I do think that there has come a point where Jay's is going to have to get some criticism. Like, Big Daddy, you've had 2 months to fix this. I get that you don't want to take Jordan Thompson from off the, from out of the batter's box. I get it. But my God, man. Did Jay tell K. Doty to go to a knee? Are you noticing this? He's going down to a knee to field every ball. Big Daddy, it's a simple ground ball. I mean, we're talking about simple shit. Elwin says, yeah, but Daniel's throwing an out since you crooning. What am I missing with that? Elwin, get that. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you're trying to say. Croning? What does that even mean? Jeff says, hashtag ask Blake, how impressed are you with the true freshmen in the outfield, Stevenson and Pearson? I think that they've been great, Jeff, honestly. I think that they've been more of a spark in your lineup. I like Pearson batting leadoff. I like him batting leadoff. I don't know if I don't think Trey should be in that leadoff spot. I really don't. But man, I mean, look, you're not losing games because what's going on. You're not losing games because of what's coming out of the bullpen. You're not losing games because of what's going on at the batter's box. You're losing games because you can't field a damn simple dribbler to the second baseman or the shortstop. Like, big dog, come on. Come on. It is past exhausting. I don't know how you guys feel, but if you're me, I'm tired of seeing it. Bo Pelini is coaching infield. Breaking sources. He's coaching infield. Everybody was pissed off at Paul Maneri. You ain't too pissed off right now, are you? Jay has done good so far. But when you have two potential number one overall picks, two top 5 picks, come on, man. Skipper Tally says, hashtag ask Blake, I'd take the softball infield with the exception of first base. I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that at all. I see we got some starred comments. But we'll go with this one. Javon Turner says, serious question here, Blake. Do you think that Paul M could have did better with his team with the amount of talent that's on here? Maybe. I don't think you get Jacob Berry, though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you get Paul Gervais. Well, maybe, no, you get Paul Gervais. You don't get Raiselman. Bro, you do know that Eric Raiselman's only given up one extra base hit all season? I know, and I got some feedback from this today. I was talking to some buddies, and I think Devin Fontenot's just getting absolutely rocked over the last couple of weeks. Fontenot's getting rocked. What of the couple extra base hits? But yeah. Oh. Put up Javon Turner. For everybody in Twitter Spaces, you know who this is? This is Vaughn. Talks a lot, Vaughn. It's Vaughn. Talks a lot. Sir Talks a Lot is here tonight. Mr. Snoring Weed himself. What's going on, Vaughn? Welcome to the show. Give that man a round of applause. It's a big day for Vaughn, man. It's a big day for Vaughn. Big day for my man, Vaughn. Finally, Vaughn has graced himself in AYS. How about that? Let me tweet him back. Just gave you a shout out, bro. Sir, Mr. Sir Talks a Lot. Now I know your biblical name. Javon Turner. Boy, you done messed up now. Let me write this name down. Zach, write this name down. I'm going to call you by your biblical name from now on. All right. Blaine Smith says, damn, have a wife get excited for you like Blake feels about Vaughn. Damn, bro. Blaine, I ain't gonna do it. Blaine, you know you be coming up in here firing off some silly questions too. Oh, shoot. You know what we forgot, Zach? Nurse Court fired in a $4.99 super chat. Can you go find the $4.99 super chat from Nurse Court? We missed that earlier. But Ed sends in one, says $10. Thank you, Ed. And Ed says, didn't number 5 play second base last year? Hashtag Ask Blake. Yes, Bianco did. But Bianco's just not doing a lot at the plate. I don't know, man. I don't know. But Milazzo does not save you from the errors. Nurse Court says financing the staycation at the Yoo-Hoo Museum. Okay. Chris. God, that man got Yoo-Hoo squirting out his titties. Bro, somebody said one of our listeners, Chris, had Yoo-Hoo coming out his titties. They said they bet it's spoiled. Oh, shit. Oh, how can you make fun of another man when you say this man's got Yoo-Hoo coming out his titties? Bro, do you know how much of a burn that is? This man said he got Yoo-Hoo coming out his titties. Oh, shoot. Whoo! See what you did, Nurse Court? God, dog. See what you done did? Whew. All right. Let's see here. You know what? We'll Pellies did win game 2. Look, man, the Pels might win this whole thing, y'all. With Devin Booker going down. Dude, CJ McCollum is exactly what the Pels needed. Exactly what the Pels needed. I think they can win the game in 6. God forbid don't let the Pels go up or win the 2 games at home. God forbid, man. Guys, I got to tell you, I put in a bet today on Bet Online. I'm taking the Pels to win the series. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. I'm there, bro. I'm completely there. See, again, CJ is exactly what this team needed. What do you do with Zion at this point? Can Zion come back tomorrow? If he does, and look, if you're LeBron James, are you kicking the shit out of yourself for not keeping on to Brandon Ingram? This man wanted Russell Wilson's old ass, Russell Westbrook's old ass. Westbrook. What an idiot. What an idiot. All right, last one. We're bringing Zach in here. The Golden Boot Pod says, hashtag Ask Blake, if Chris has Yoo-Hoo, what does Zion have? Milk of magnesium. Oh, my God, bro. Bro, Ant's going to kick your ass, dog. Yeah, he's got Insure coming out his titties. That man's got that whole boost. That man got you. That man got Insure coming out his titties. Oh my God. Woo! Vaughn says, watching AYS eating some red beans and chicken. I like it. I went on with Carter the Power Bryant today on the radio. And sources, Carter the Power Bryant hates red beans. What kind of man hates red beans? Aunt Marshall says, all right, bro, you got one more time to slander Zion. He got Ensure coming out his titties. The plus protein, the added protein. All right. Let's bring in Zachy. Zachy, are you ready? All right, we got our producer Zach on the show.
Oh my gosh, man!
A lot was accomplished today. We found out Von's biblical name.
We did.
We found out Zion's got Ensure popping out his titties. We found out that there's a narrative being pushed about Garrett Nussmeier, and I teed off on the infielding. Of all of that, what do you want to start off with, and why is it Yoo-hoo coming out of Zion's titties?
I don't know if I can answer that, but before the show, you were mentioning the Garrett Nussmeier stuff, and that's the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, this has got to be getting pushed somewhere because, I mean, I don't know how people have watched spring footage and taken, oh, yeah, Garrett Nussmeier's going to be QB1. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me, Blake. So, yeah, that's definitely, in my opinion, that's being pushed.
So, look, we'll either do a pregame or a postgame for this LSU baseball game tomorrow as they play Missouri. I think that they take the series. I hope that they can sweep that series too.
Yeah.
But you're coming down for this spring game. What is the only thing, if you could take one thing away, what is the one thing that you're looking forward to take away this spring for this spring football game?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I'll go kind of overall, not focus specifically on a position group or a position battle or anything like that. But, you know, they've done a great job. BK takeover, right? He's done a fantastic job at coming in and revamping this roster with all new personnel and guys out of the transfer portal and some big names, obviously, Blake, but we got to see the product on the field, right? I mean, it's great to hear it. About it in practice. It's great to hear about what they did at previous teams and other stops. But what's it going to look like live action? I know this is a, quote unquote glorified practice. This is the spring game. But nonetheless, I'm excited to see, at least with my own two eyes, I'm excited to see it.
LSU baseball, Zach, they're pissing me off. You've had 2 months to fix the infield. Especially get them better. They're not setting their feet. They're not, K. Doty's going down to a knee. Jacob Berry's throwing it in a different parish when it's a little dribbler to him at third. Zach, I got to be honest, it's pissing me off a little bit. Like, I get it. You're at LSU. Paul Maneri did not recruit you to be throwing balls into the bleachers. No. Are you with me? Or is this starting to tick you off a little bit? Because, Zach, here's the thing. They're good enough to get to Omaha. I think that their bullpen is much better than what we anticipated. When you got Raiselman and Gervais and Vittmeyer coming out of the pen, you can beat anybody. Now, starting pitching, it is what it is. Okay, yeah. But they're getting you enough. They're keeping you in games long enough to where you can win these games. Zach, is it pissing you off like it is me?
It is pissing me off, and I don't disagree with the take on the pitching staff. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure the last time I checked, they were top 40 in the country in ERA.
They're top 30. They're 38.
Top 30. Okay, so update. That was like last week.
Right.
So, yeah, and that's out of 293 teams. So, it's not the pitching staff. We know what it is. We've talked
all. They got the 38 pitch bullpen in the country right now. We baseball. I mean, what the hell?
It seems like we've talked about it ad nauseum. It's the fielding, and so yeah, it is getting frustrating because I mentioned this in the comments. You've got some dudes that are out there playing ball for you. You've got guys that are high prospects coming into next year's draft, the following year's draft. It's inexcusable at this point. And it's like you said, it's routine, fundamental baseball that these guys are messing up on. And it almost seems like, Blake, we have to accept it. This is just what it is. This is just what this team is. This is the problems that they have. But for me, I mean, it can be cleaned up. I just don't know why it isn't. I don't know why it's taking this long. So, yeah, it's frustrating, but I don't know what else to say, Blake. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, we've talked about moving guys around, but that hasn't worked. So, I don't know.
I'm not going to accept it. And no way am I going to accept watching K. Doty do what he did a season ago and Jordan Thompson doing what he did a season ago only to fall this far back. I think it's Bush
Yeah.
League. I think that they're doing everything that they can. I'm not saying Jay's not. Jay's an infielder. Jay's a second baseman. But when you get the Chuck Knobloch, John Lester type of yips, this team's got the yips, man. You know how you get through yips? Hit him a fungo as hard as you fucking can. Excuse my language, but Jesus Christ, it's pissing me off. Bro, feel the ball, go to your belt, set your feet, fire it. It is not that hard.
Fundamentals.
Allowing Jordan Thompson to not set his feet and do whatever he wants to do without any repercussions is Bush League. Pull his ass. Because quite honestly, until you start getting, all puns intended, getting in their ass, they're going to continue to do what they're doing. Pull his ass. So what? You know what, Zach, this is a great weekend to do it. He makes an error pulling. I swear to God I'd do it. Even if you lose the game, because you're going to get into a regional. At this point, you're going to get into a regional. Okay, if you go 500 in the SEC, you're getting into a regional. They'll get there. Pull his ass. Now, I've said my piece on it, and I've said the F word, but that's how pissed off I get when you can't do – Zach, it's legitimately – you know what I feel like? I feel like I'm watching Brandon Harris play quarterback.
Oh, boy.
Zach, tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
If it's a comparison, set your feet, fire it, bro. Like, this is so elementary.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. My name's Blake Ruffino. I just used the F word. I couldn't help myself. But that's how bad it's pissing me off. Zach, we'll either do a pregame or a postgame tomorrow. Okay, postgame seems a little bit late when your boy's on a staycation. Okay. But nevertheless, we'll do it. We'll find a way. All right, buddy, let's get on out of here. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Y'all have a good night.